This is Water Valley Blue Devil Classic Football. This game features the Water Valley Blue Devils and the Ackerman Indians. This second round Class 2A playoff game was played on November 15th, 2002 at Water Valley. The final score was Water Valley 7, Ackerman 21. And now here's Doug Carter and Lane Hart.
This will be only the fourth time that the Blue Devils in their history have played a team twice in the same season. They played Vardaman in '46, Senatobia in 1990, and Leland once again in 94. Water Valley has recorded their fourth shutout of the season last week against Leland, and that is most in a season since 1995. Ackerman, Shamart, Webster scored 3 TDs against Riverside last week, and both teams come into this one as a kind of a mirror of each other. Devils average 26 points a game, the Indians 27. The Blue Devil defense giving up 11, the Indians only 12. All right, we're ready to get this thing underway. The Blue Devils won the toss and deferred until the second half, so they'll kick off to the Indians. Number 11, Tim Ham will kick it off for the Blue Devils. Back deep to receive for the Indians, number 7, Brandon Shoemaker.
Dangerous number 7 too, Doug. Remember the last time these two teams played, Ackerman was able to score on big plays. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was
2 60-yard runs and a long pass.
Right. So that's one thing that the Blue Devils are going to have to try to prevent tonight is that big play, and we've got a little bit of a delay here. They're trying to get some of the paper off of the goal post. One of the run-through signs the run-through sign that Ackerman ran through, and they're trying to get that off the goal post. That's what the delay is here.
Indian cheerleaders taped it a little too good.
Well, Doug, you know, this is a big game, and we made the comment last week after the win over Leland that, you know, Water Valley might not have played as well as they would have liked to have played, but yet, you know, here you live to play another week, and each week you have to step up your level of play. You have to play a little bit better each and every week, and it's going to require great effort and great execution tonight to beat the team of caliber of Ackerman, who was the division champion in the division this year.
And they're also the defending state champion. Ham gets a boot into it, sends it wobbling down the left hash mark to about the 27, and it's picked up there and returned maybe 3 yards to about the 33-yard line by, let's see, that was number 4 there on the run back, Torrance Ashford.
And once again, Doug, and the fans at home will be able to tell, we've got a very windy night. A cold front moved through the southeast and the mid-south today and brought a little bit of rain. I don't think the field is all that wet. It really didn't get a downpour as some areas of the state got, but it's extremely windy once again tonight. And that wind's going to play havoc with the ball, both the passing game and the kicking game.
Solano at quarterback, they give it to Shoemaker. Shoemaker over the left side, takes it up over the 35 to the 36. Gain of about 3 yards on the play. Bring up 2nd down and 7 now from the Indian 37-yard line.
And as the case in any big game or any playoff game of this caliber, Doug, field position is going to be key.
Indians come up to the line. One receiver out to the left. That is number 2, Job. You will hear his number tonight as well quite a lot. They give it to Shoemaker over the left side, and he is wrapped up there by number 20, Walter Fleming, along with number 5, Russell Phillips. Gain of maybe a couple of yards up to about the 39. Call it 3rd down now and about 4.
Gain of 1 on the play brings up 3rd and 5.
Big 3rd down conversion here on the first drive for the Devil defense.
Ackerman comes in the game with a pretty good balanced attack offensively. Their primary offense is the running game, but they can throw the ball and do it effectively.
Indians go with 3 backs in the backfield. He's going to be close to 1st down yardage. Last second effort there toward the very end, the last lunge, I think, got him the yardage he's going to need for the 1st down. They're going to spot the ball on the 43-yard line, and that is enough for a Indian 1st down. 1st and 10 Indians on their own 43. Indian quarterback, number 6, Brent Delano. I formation in the backfield with Webster and Shoemaker. Fake it to Shoemaker, rolling. Has Webster open out in the left flat, and he dropped it. That was the same type play lane that they scored a touchdown on last game.
Well, that's how they set their passing game up. They try to establish the running game, get some momentum going with the running game, and then they go off the play action pass. And it would have worked then if the receiver could have held on to the ball. Good play action fake there, and the linebackers took that fake, and that route was open. But fortunately for Water Valley, he dropped the ball. It's going to bring up second down now and 10.
Casey Orr out wide to the left. Delano gives it to Shoemaker. Shoemaker over the left side. And he's tackled up at about midfield by, I believe that was Reggie Morgan.
Once again, though, it's going to bring up a third and short now.
Excuse me, that was Albert Horton, number 9, on the tackle. Third and about 3.
Gain of 7 brings up 3rd and 3 from the 50.
A little bit cooler this evening, too, Lane, I believe, than it was last weekend. And the wind, I don't think, maybe quite as brisk as it was. Penalty marker on the play is number 5, Russell Phillips, comes across.
And Doug, when you're in these kind of games, this playoff game especially of this caliber, those kind of penalties really create some problems. And now you've extended the drive, so to speak, for Ackerman, and just a kind of penalty that you don't need to make in this late in the season. Those penalties really shouldn't happen.
1st and 10 now from the Blue Devil 45 for the Ackerman Indians after the penalty. Penalty markers on the play now as they had given the ball to Shoemaker.
May have some motion here on Ackerman, maybe. I'm not real sure.
Illegal procedure against the Indians is the call.
Just got a little too quick there.
1st and 15 from the 50.
1st and 15 now from midfield for the Indians. One receiver, that's Casey Orr, out to the right. Job and a wingback. They give it to Shoemaker. Shoemaker brought down at about the 47-yard line there by Brandon Hawkins and Casey Rogers.
Gain of 3 on the play brings up 2nd and 12.
I think this down here, Doug's a key down for Water Valley on defense now. It's 2nd and 12, so you really want to hold Ackerman to an extremely minimal gain here and try to create a 3rd and long situation.
2nd down now and about 12 from the 47-yard line. Orr to the left. Job in a wing. They give it to Shoemaker. Shoemaker takes it down inside the 40 to about the 37-yard line, where he was tackled there by number 9, Albert Horton.
Once again here, Doug, it's a big 3rd down play here now. 3rd down and about a long 2, maybe a short 3 here.
3rd down. 3rd and 2.
37.
That's about right because 1st down yardage is on the 35.
The key on these 3rd and short plays, Doug, if you're on defense, is you got to try to get penetration with your defensive lineman.
I formation in the backfield. They hand it off to Webster straight up the middle. Webster takes it down to about the 36-yard line. Or excuse me, make that the 32. I'm looking at the wrong yard marker. 1st down Indians.
Nice drive here to open the game here from Ackerman. Not only are they having a sustained drive going, but we're ticking down now to 7:44 in the 4th quarter. Or excuse me, in the 1st quarter.
Rain. And rain has started to fall here. They give it to Shoemaker over the left side, looking for running room. And he is tackled over there after a gain of about 4 or 5 yards by Walter Fleming.
It's not really a heavy rain, Doug. It's just kind of a misty drizzle, so to speak. Shouldn't play a big part in the game, at least at this point.
Gain of 5 on the play brings up
2nd and 5 now from the 27-yard line. Delano on the fake over the left side, and he is tackled there by Fleming at about the 25. They give him forward progress to the 26. Call it third down and short, third and about 3.
And the third down situation so far for Ackerman on offense has been ideal. Third down 2, third down 3, third and 4. This is an ideal situation because it gives you a lot of options as far as your offensive play calling is concerned.
Jobe out to the right this time. Delano hands it off straight up the middle to Shamaric Webster. Webster carries it down to about the 20-yard line. He's going to be close to first down yardage.
I think he's got it.
And that is the signal that they give. First down, Indians.
Ackerman doing a good job, Doug, coming out here on offense and establishing the momentum.
And in this game, unlike the first game, they are able to run on the Blue Devil defense so far.
Well, I just think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's just an advantage of the fact that you've already seen, these teams have seen each other already once before.
Shoemaker on the carry. Carries it down inside to 22, about the 17. 5 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play. 0-0 your score. Ackerman with it still on its initial drive of the ball game.
Gain of 3 brings up 2nd and 7 from the 17.
2nd and 7 from the 17. Like you say here, you'd like to, if the defense could, they would like to hold here for minimal yardage and force the 3rd and long. Delano rolling to his left, looking downfield, slips and is tackled at about the line of scrimmage by Walter Fleming.
Water Valley's defense had that play covered well. Delano had just nowhere to throw the ball, and a good job there by the defense to keep contained. And here we are, Doug. We've got 3rd down now and about 9.
3rd and 9 now for the Indians. Their first 3rd and long situation that they have faced tonight so far on this drive after having a lot of 3rd and shorts. Orr to the left. 3 in the backfield. Oops. Fumble on the play. Delano manages to recover, but he's tackled by Fleming in the backfield back at about the 22, or make that the 21-yard line. And that's going to bring out the field goal unit on a 4th and 12.
Well, once again, Doug, the wind is blowing, but it's blowing across the field, so it's more of a crosswind. And looks to be about
37, somewhere in that neighborhood, 37-yard field goal.
Yep, looks to be about right.
From the far hash mark. Snap is back, kick is up.
Short.
And it is short by about 4 yards. We'll take a break and be right back. And we're back, and on the first carry from scrimmage, the Blue Devils fumble the football, and the Indians recover.
Worst thing that could have happened to us, Doug, I tell you the reason why he fumbled is because he got popped. Ackerman came up there and hit him hard, and the ball came out. And worst thing that could have happened now here for Water Valley, and here you give Ackerman's offense a chance to get right back out on the field, and they got a really short field to work with.
1st and 10 now from about the 25. Brandon Shoemaker and Charlie Edwards able to take him off of his feet down at about the 21-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play. Who was on? I never did see who carried the ball.
It was Rico.
Rico.
Play brings up 2nd and 6 from the 21.
2nd down and 6 now for the Indians.
Well, now all you can ask for your defense is try to force another field goal situation here.
2nd and 6. Delano hands it off to Shoemaker over the left side, and Lee Mix and Walter Fleming wrap him up for no gain.
No gain on the play brings up
3rd down and 6. Big 3rd down conversion here now for the Indians.
Watch for, you can look for play action pass here. Maybe the option play, some sort of screen.
3 backs in the backfield. They give it to the first man through, and that's Webster, and he didn't get a whole lot. He got some, but it's gonna bring up a 4th down and short. And we'll see what the Indians opt to do here.
Fleming and
Well,
Wallace.
they're coming out here to go for it, Doug, but one thing that just comes into my mind now is the hard count. They're going to try to draw them off sides.
17 for the Indians.
4th and about 3 now. Ball resting on the 17-yard line. Devils got to try and hold still here and not jump on a count. Oh!
Well, that's what they were trying to do, Doug. They were going hard count to try to draw Water Valley off sides, and Ackerman's the one that jumped here, and that'll back them up 5 yards. Now it's decision time for Ackerman's coaching staff here.
The legal procedure against the Indians is big number 74 over there jumped.
I don't think they'll attempt the field goal because I think now it's actually be a little bit longer field goal than it was before.
Yeah, I think the ball actually was resting on about the 17-yard line last time, or well, maybe about the 20 actually, I think. Putting it down on about the 27, so this one would probably be back about the 30-yard line, so it would be about a 40-yarder or a little more maybe. On 4th and 8, they decide to go for it. Tolano rolling to his left, has a receiver open, and Webster can't hang on again. And the Blue Devils dodge a bullet.
A big bullet, Doug. He was wide open. There was nobody within 15 yards of him. And once again, that's a blown coverage there by Water Valley's defense. And you said it, Doug. They really, really dodged a bullet. Now, it's, Water Valley needs to put together a little drive themselves. One, just to get some field position back and got to hold on to the football.
1st and 10 for the Blue Devils now. Ball resting on their own about 22-yard line. Maybe closer between the 22 and the 23. Charlie Edwards is the lone back in the backfield. Gillard in motion. Penalty markers on the play.
Water Valley may have been in motion there.
See what the call is going to be. Illegal procedure against the Blue Devils.
Well, Doug, Water Valley's had the ball 2 plays on offense, and both of them have been negative plays.
Penalty brings up 1st and 15 from the 18.
1st down now and 15.
You can't give a team like Ackerman any opportunity whatsoever. You can't give them any advantage at all.
Double wing back set. Rogers out past it. And
should have been picked off.
Should have been picked off. You're right. Brandon Hawkins slipped just about the time the ball got there. And the defensive back came over and hit him right in the hands and bounced out. That'll bring up a 2nd down now and 15.
Brings up 2nd and 15 from the 18 for the Blue Devils.
Mix up in the backfield. They wind up, they give the ball, I think it was to Pierre Allen. Pierre brings it forward over the 20 to about the 21. Gains a couple of yards, brings up about a 3rd down now and 12 situation.
Gain of 3 brings up 3rd and 12.
And then an interesting change in tonight. There comes into the game for his first game at this position that I know of this season, Josh Sims at tight end. Give it to Pierre Allen, and Allen was looking for some help over there on that side, and he got it up above the 25 to the 26, got a little yardage, got Charlie Edwards a little bit of breathing room, and on a 4th and about 7, the Blue Devils will be forced to punt. Not what Coach Drury and the staff were looking to have happen.
Both of those plays, Doug, they look to be just about a half a step a little slow. The play needs to develop a little bit quicker. There was running seams there, but to Ackerman's defense credit, they were able to close those seams down pretty quick.
Charlie Edwards gets the kickoff. Nice driving kick. Caught it about the 45, and Job slips and advances to about the 49, where the Indians will take over. We'll take a timeout and be right back. And they give him forward progress all the way down to the Blue Devil 42-yard line. Although he hit the ground at about the 45, and that's the end of the first quarter of play. We'll take a break and be right back with the second quarter right after this. All right, we're back now. Beginning of the second quarter of play. Nothing your score here, luckily for the Blue Devils, as they've dodged a couple of bullets here so far early in the first quarter. Second down and about 3 to go for the Indians from the Blue Devil 43-yard line. Taleno to the first man through. That's Shamaric Webster. Webster carries down inside the 40 to about the 37-yard line. First down yardage, enough there to gained for the Indians.
From the 37.
First and 10 Indians.
Shoemaker on the carry.
Shoemaker knocks, they string it out. He gets the corner. Penalty marker thrown there toward the last. He was knocked out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. 25, make it. See what the flag is. Against the Indians, illegal blocking the back?
No, it was, if I'm not mistaken, Doug, if I saw it correctly, it's going to be illegal hands to the face.
Okay. Against the Indians at any rate.
Well, I just know one thing, Doug. You're not going to be able to come up and knock Shoemaker off his feet. You've got to put a hit on him, and you've got to hold on to him, because he's one of the best I've seen at breaking tackles, and you're not going to knock him off his feet.
Okay. Must have been from the point of the foul.
Mm-hmm.
First and about 14.
14 from the 41 for the Indians.
Job out to the left. Handed off, coming straight up the middle. That was number 40 for the Indians.
Davis on the carry for the
Dante Davis.
Say Ackerman's offensive line is doing a good job coming off the ball. They're picking them up 3 or 4 yards just on the initial surge.
Brings up second down.
No gain on that particular play. Second and 10. Timeout Indians. We'll take a break and be right back. 10 minutes, 35 seconds left to go in the first half of play. Nothing your score here. So far a tight contest. The Blue Devils have dodged a couple of bullets as the Indians missed a field goal in the first quarter. And then failed to convert on another fourth down. So they're driving again here, second and 10. Taleno rolling to his left. Heaves one downfield, got a man wide open, and he missed it. Oh, my goodness. Taleno's receivers cannot hold on to anything tonight. That is the third man he has had wide open to just drop the pass.
Once again, Doug, I think the wind had an effect on that pass. And you're right, he was wide open, but once the ball kind of got up in the wind, it kind of hung up and fluttered on Taleno. But you're right, that's 3 passes that the receivers for Ackerman have just flat dropped. And if you're Coach Drury and Water Valley on defense, you've got to be concerned at how open these guys are, because sooner or later they're going to start catching them.
Third down and 10 now. Taleno back to pass, looking downfield, coming across the middle. He had a crossing pattern going there, intended for number 40. That was Davis. It's going to bring up a fourth down and 10 now. Ball resting on the 37-yard line, or actually more closer to the 38. And the Indians send in the punting unit. Casey Rogers back deep to receive. Gordon gets the punt off. It's a wobbly kick, goes straight to Rogers, and he fumbles it. but he is tackled almost immediately at the 8-yard line. 1st and 10 Blue Devils from their own 8.
Well, the first mistake Casey made is
Even trying to catch
if the ball is inside the 10, you don't even attempt to catch it. But once again, here's Water Valley pinned deep in their own territory, and I just think, Doug, I really believe it's imperative that they get out here and get some kind of field position. Whether they score or not is really, irrelevant at this point. They need to get the ball out here around midfield and at least get them some breathing room, because they've been pinned back in there, and when they've had the ball, they've been pinned back in there, deep in their own territory. That's a new formation there that we hadn't really seen this year. Water Valley was in a wishbone formation at that particular play there, and right now they're just trying to get some breathing room there. When you're pinned back this deep in your own territory, you're really limited as far as the play calling is concerned, as far as your offense goes.
Gain of about a yard on the play. 2nd and 9. Penalty markers on the play.
Probably going to be motion against the Blue Devils.
Offside against the Indians.
That'll help.
A different penalty for once from the officials. We've been hearing the same old refrain all evening, illegal procedure Blue Devils. Now we get a different one.
This brings up 2nd down now and about 4. It kind of changes the complexion of things here a little bit.
Ball resting on about the 14-yard line. Rogers hands it off to Gillard. Gillard still on his feet. Finally knocked backwards as he couldn't really get anything going because his feet were all tangled up with a pile.
Well, the defensive line is winning the battle up front for Ackerman. They're getting the push off the ball, and they're shoving the offensive line back in the backfield, and it's causing Rico to run into him in the backfield, and it's just disrupting the timing of the play.
3rd down now. 3rd down and about 5.
I really believe it's important that Water Valley convert here.
First man through, Charlie Edwards. Charlie takes it up to about the 19-yard line. That's close to 1st down yardage.
I believe you got it, Doug.
It's going to be real close. The officials signal 1st down, and the Blue Devils pick it up. 1st and 10 at the 19. Hawkins brings the play in from the sideline. He goes out to the left. They go with the wishbone formation once again. Allen and Gillard behind Edwards. They give it to Edwards. And Edwards takes it up to about the 20. Gain of about 2 on the play.
Again, 2 on the play brings up 2nd and 8 from the 21.
7:47 left to go in the first half. Still 0-0. Only chance at scoring we've had was the missed field goal by the Indians. Oh my goodness, a loose football, and we got lucky right there as Pierre Allen managed to pick the ball up. Pierre Allen still on his feet before he's finally tackled out of bounds up around about the 34-yard line.
Wow.
That was just lucky for us.
It's pure D luck. I don't know if Casey even saw who he was pitching it to, but he just laid it out there. That's just not like him.
I think he may have been pitching it to Rico. Rico was the one in the front, but luckily
Rico's not the pitchback though on that play. That's the option to the left side. The pitchback is the tailback.
Luckily, Pierre was trailing the play and kept his head about him and picked the ball up. 1st and 10. Rogers pitches back to Gillard this time. Gillard looking for the corner.
Well, that's well defended there by Ackerman. They played that perfect.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
Loss of 1 on the play brings up 2nd and 11 from the 32.
Rogers looking for some running room, breaks into the open, look out, it's off to the races. Casey Rogers down the sideline. Casey Rogers scores. I don't see a yellow hanky anywhere. Puts 7 on the board.
Tell you what, Water Valley may have been lucky there again, Doug, because I think Water Valley could have been in motion too. I think Pierre was confused whether or not he was supposed to go in motion, and he kind of flinched, but he was the only one that moved, and he didn't move toward the line of scrimmage, so I don't think that's a penalty. If you flinch forward, then that's a penalty, but I think he flinched like he was going in motion.
He kind of rocked back instead of going forward.
And so I think that's the reason why you didn't see the penalty.
Drake Dickey on for the extra point attempt now.
Playoff games, these are huge.
The kick is up, and the kick is good. 7-0 in favor of the Blue Devils. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the first half of play, and the Blue Devils get it on the board first. A 60-something yard run by Casey Rogers. Tim Ham setting out to kick it off. And he squibs it down the middle, and that ball is live. It was touched, picked up, and he is tackled at about the 35-yard line, where the Indians will take over 1st and 10.
Well, Doug, we were talking during the break there how Water Valley needs to do something defensively to kind of make some adjustments here and try to force, we talked earlier, Ackerman into some 2nd and 3rd and long situations, because Ackerman's running game has really been able to get going here, and Water Valley's got to find some way to just kind of slow that down a little bit and try to force Ackerman into some long yardage situations.
Yeah, they've basically stopped themselves with some drop passes and some key penalties. Straight ahead, they give the ball to Webster. Casey Rogers wraps him up and waits and stops him after about a 2-yard gain.
Well, they're going to give him forward progress, Doug, and I think that's a good spot. They actually he had forward progress about.
They're going to give him about 3 up to the 43. 2nd and 7.
And you got to do a good job of tackling every one of these running backs for Ackerman. They're excellent running backs. They have that knack of making that first tackle miss, and you've got to play solid defense against this team. When you get a chance to tackle them for a loss, you really got to make sure you tackle them.
Wide receiver goes right, comes back left. That's number 5, Ken Woods. Taleno rolling under pressure. And once again, Shamaric Webster cannot pull it in.
Doug, I don't know who's got that pass responsibility. I really don't know, but they need to figure it out quick, because that play has been open. It's been open all night tonight. And it's fortunately for Water Valley, they're dropping the ball. But like I said earlier, sooner or later they're going to start catching those things. And
that one really wasn't Webster's fault. It was a little high.
Yeah, it may have sailed on him a little bit, but the point I'm trying to make is somebody in that defense, a linebacker or somebody, has got to take the responsibility for that guy.
They give it to Shoemaker, and he got him stopped behind the line. Albert Horton had him held up, and Russell Phillips and crew come in to help.
Now here's a golden opportunity, Doug, for Water Valley to take the field position advantage back here. But like we said earlier, if Casey or Charlie's not confident in catching this pass, then don't try to attempt to catch this pass or catch this punt, excuse me.
Yeah, let it hit and roll. 4th and 11. That brings in Gordon to kick. He'll kick from about his 25.
Get away from that.
Wobbly kick, going to hit the ground and roll. And they're going to down it at about the 35-yard line of the Blue Devils, where they'll take over with not bad field position at all. 1st and 10 going the opposite way.
And to be honest with you, Doug, that was too many Water Valley Blue Devils around that punt for that ball to be rolling around like that. When it's a bad punt like that and it's off like that and you don't have a clean shot at fielding it, get away from that thing, because that football is kind of oblong. It's been known to take some funny hops. Good field position here for Water Valley now. 4:43 to go in the half.
Solo rocket out to the left. Allen in motion, and there comes that flag again.
That's going to be against Water Valley. It's going to be motion.
Illegal procedure against the Blue Devils. Make it 1st and 15.
Brings up first and 15 from the 31.
Just can't afford to make those kind of penalties against a team like Ackerman.
Ball just over the 30-yard line, 1st and 15. Pitch it back to Edwards. Edwards gets the corner. Oh, well, almost got the corner. I think if Charlie had cut it up initially when he looked like he wanted to cut it up, he might have got some more yardage.
Probably could have picked up 4 or 5. I don't think he would have been a big gain, but I think that's a good point, Doug. But once again, Doug, I think that has a lot to do too. Charlie hadn't played a lot of tailback this year. He's played a lot of positions and just hadn't played enough to get the feel of it.
2nd down now and about 14 from the 31. Gain of about a yard on the play. Brandon Hawkins out in the wide receiver position out to the right. They pitch it back to Edwards. Edwards trying to get loose from the tackle, and oh goodness, that's a big loss. They tackle him all the way back at the 21.
Well, that was going to be the halfback pass, and never had a chance.
Ball down back to 40.
And here, Water Valley had a golden opportunity here to get the field position advantage back, and the first 3 plays here that they've had on this drive, they've gone backwards.
3rd and about 23.
Loss on play brings up 3rd and 23 from the 21.
Pierre Allen, they give it straight up the middle to Edwards. Edwards looking for some running room, and the ball comes loose, and the Indians recover it.
Indians recover.
Recover at about the 26-yard line, and you give Ackerman a short field to work with, and you're just asking for problems. With 3:05 left here in the first half, Blue Devil defense really going to have to try and suck it up here.
Indians take over 1st and 10 from the 26.
Saw Coach Higdon throw his hat down in disgust down there on the sidelines. Plano, they give it to Shoemaker. Gains about 3. Albert Horton had him, but he got out of his arm tackle.
Oh, the thing is, when you come up to tackle him, you can't leave your feet. I mean, even if you grab him, you've got to stay on your feet. And that's what happened on that tackle there. Albert had his hands around him, but he left his feet. And a back of the caliber of Shoemaker, he's just going to run right through that.
2nd down now and about 7 from the 22. Straight ahead to Webster. Webster takes it down inside the 20. They give him forward progress all the way down to the 16. Coming up on about 2:13 now and counting. 3rd and short here. 3rd and about 2. Job goes out to the right.
I think if Ackerman doesn't get it here, I think they'll go for it.
First man through is Webster.
They don't have to worry about it.
Webster gets enough for the 1st down on the carry, taking it down inside the 15 to about the 12.
Indians 1st and 10 from the 13.
Under 2 minutes to go now. Defense really got to try and hang tough here. Give it to Shoemaker. Shoemaker takes it down to about the 5.
Got number 22, rocking the Blue Devils.
Under a minute and a half.
Minute 7 brings 2nd and 3 from the 5 for the Indians.
Delano gives straight ahead.
Indians touchdown.
Indian touchdown as Webster bulls it in from 5 yards out.
Well, Doug, we just go back. It's points off a turnover. They didn't have but like a 25-yard field to work with, and Big extra point right here.
Number 14, Ryan Miller to attempt the extra point.
Miller on for the extra point attempt, but hold everything. We may see a kick and we may not. Now they bring it back in. They bring your holder back in to hold. Snap is down, kick is up, and looks like the kick is good. And that makes the score the Indians 7, the Blue Devils 7. We'll be back after this. And we're back now, the Indians set to kick it off here to the Blue Devils with 1:08 left in the first half. 7-7 as the Indians tie it up after a Blue Devil fumble gives them the ball on the 25-yard line. The Indians cash it in on a 5-yard carry by Shamark Webster. All right, they shift the ball over to the hash mark.
If I'm not mistaken, they did that the first time we played them. It's just designed to keep it away from Casey.
Pierre Allen also back to receive. And they kick it sideways. It goes to Charlie Edwards. And Edwards is tackled at about the 38-yard line where the Devils take over 1st and 10. With
10 from 38.
Didn't the clock stop on change of possession? Well, he held it evidently, but he ran off about 6 seconds. 1st and 10. Hand it off. Pierre Allen looking for running room, steps over the pile and is tackled at about the 40. Under a minute.
From the 40.
2nd down now and about 8. Rogers comes back into the huddle with the play. Rogers back. Throws it up for Solo Rocket down at about the 45-yard line, and Rocket makes the catch with about 18 seconds left. Clock will stop while they change the, switch the chains.
1st and 10 from the 47.
Now you get it down to where maybe you can heave a Hail Mary.
It's going to be really hard to do it, though, Doug.
And the Blue Devils, I believe, have called a timeout. 16 seconds left. 7-7 your score. Blue Devil ball 1st and 10 from the 47. Rogers hands it off to Pierre Allen. Pierre lunges down to about the 40.
Timeout, Blue Devils.
Blue Devils call timeout once again with 8.3 seconds left. We'll take another break. 8.3 seconds left. 2nd and 5. Give it to Pierre Allen over the left side again, and there just was no hole there. Now they call one more timeout, which will be the last timeout for the Blue Devils.
Well, you might see them here. They might take a shot deep here, Doug.
You could do numerous things here. The one thing you don't want to do is turn the football over. They might try the one of the gimmick plays.
Mm-hmm.
Although this bunch having seen that, I doubt very seriously it would work. 3.2 seconds left. They've talked it over, decided what they're going to do. Keep in mind, Charlie Edwards is in the football game in the fullback position. Rocket out wide to the left with single coverage. They hand it off to Pierre Allen. Allen looking for running room. And they hold him up at about the 35-yard line, and that's how the half is going to end. 7-7. Blue Devils will get the ball here to start things in the second half. Before we get this all underway, we would like to send happy birthday wishes along on her 16th birthday to Miss Brittany Mills. Happy birthday, Brittany.
Blue Devils will receive to start the second half.
Well, Doug, it's going to be real important now for Water Valley. Now they get the ball to start the second half, and they just got to get something going on offense. They just really haven't had any continuity on offense tonight, and it's really put themselves in, as far as field position goes, in poor field position. And so hopefully we were able to make some adjustments at halftime and can come out here and at least try to set the tone to start the second half by getting a score here.
Kind of like starting over here as we have a tie score. Casey Rogers and Pierre Allen back deep.
Well, you figure too that they're probably not even going to kick it deep. They're going to probably move it over to the far hash again and do the short kickoff, the coverage kick, so to speak, and which is a good thing because it'll give Water Valley the football. You figure around the 35 to the 40-yard line.
Casey Rogers, number 3, Pierre Allen back deep to receive for the Blue Devils.
See if this is that is going to be the situation as the kicker picks it up once again, moves it over to the far hash mark, and we'll try to angle it back over in this direction, in the direction of either Charlie Edwards or Solo Rocket, possibly. This one will go to Charlie Edwards. Charlie picks it up, got a little running room, and takes it up to about the 43-yard line, where the Blue Devils will take over 1st and 10.
Able to get a little bit of a run back there, Doug, and like you said, Water Valley will take over on their own 43-yard line, which is good field position.
The Indians, Blue Devils take over 1st and 10.
And let's see if the Blue Devils can get the offense cranked up and running here, especially the running game.
Well, it's a lot like Ackerman too. I mean, the running game kind of sets up the passing game for Water Valley as well as it does Ackerman.
This time they're going to bring out Pierre Allen as a split back. Hand it off to Rico Gillard. Rico bounces it out, trying to. And Rico was digging, but he couldn't get away from number 4 there as he had him by the shirt tail and wouldn't let him go. Drops him for about a 2 to maybe 3-yard loss.
Well, one thing, it's really hard to outrun Ackerman to the corners because they've got pretty good team speed also. It's an official timeout here. I think it's an equipment timeout. I think somebody lost an ear pad.
Have it back. 2nd down now and about 13. Ball resting on just over the 40-yard line.
Well, they're still trying to get that ear pad snapped back into the helmet there.
Now they have the headgear repaired. Job was the player in question with the ear problems. Rogers on the option keeper. Cuts it up, bounces off one. Rogers into Indian territory down at the 45-yard line, and Casey Rogers goes to show just how dangerous he can be in the open field.
That's good. You made a good call there, Doug. He bounced off of one tackle, and that's really what sprung him. He was able to break that initial tackle and pick up the 1st down. Water Valley now crosses over into Ackerman territory with a good opportunity here. Ball between the 45 and 46-yard line of Ackerman.
Solo Rocket goes out to the left. Lee Mix at fullback. Rico Gillard at the tailback slot. Rogers keeps it himself, takes it down to about the 40. Gain of about 6 on the play. Casey went in one direction and all of a sudden reversed his field and went back the other way.
Well, I think it's clear here in the second half that Coach Drury may try to get Casey a little bit more involved in the offense now.
Second down now and about 4 for the Blue Devils. Ball resting on the 40. Give it to Lee Mix, and Mix is hit in the backfield. Big number 61 there for the Indians.
Well, he got penetration, Doug. That's the key. That's the key to being a good defensive lineman, is being able to get penetration there. And he shot that gap, and Water Valley failed to pick him up. Turns out to be about a 2-yard loss.
Third down now and about 6 for the Blue Devils. Rocket out to the right. Rogers using his blockers, looking for room, breaks a couple of tackles, lunging forward, gets it down to about the 36-yard line.
I think he's going to have to get to the 35.
Yeah. He's going to be about a yard short, but considering the field position here, you may see the Blue Devils go for it.
They may themselves try to draw them off with a hard count here, but
fourth and a long one, as the nose of the ball is just back this side of the 36.
The best I can tell, the first down marker is just this side of the 35-yard line. So if he can get to the 35, he'll have the first down.
First down. Casey Rogers on the QB keeper. Takes it across the 35 down to the 34, and the Blue Devils pick it up.
Blue Devils 1st and 10 from the 34.
And this is just the kind of drive that Coach Drury and the staff wanted to see on the opening drive of the second half.
Well, now the ball's in Ackerman's territory now on about the 39-yard line, and so you got a little field position to work with here, and you can be a little bit more flexible with your play calling.
Hawkins, they hand it off this time to Rico Gillard. Gillard off the left side, still on his feet, but was unable to get any further yardage out of it. Got down to about the 31, gain of about 3 on the play. The Indians were able to hold Rico up just long enough for help to get there.
NFL on the play brings up 2nd and 6 from the 31.
2nd and 6 now for the Devils. Rogers straight up the middle, still on his feet, lunges forward down to almost the 25-yard line. Going to be about a yard short of the first down. Official timeout now.
No, I think Ackerman called the timeout.
Ackerman, I think, is called for a timeout. Fumble on the play. Who recovers? The Indians come up with it.
Doug, Casey never had that ball coming out from under center. He just never really had control of it. He pulled out too quick and wound up fumbling the ball. Crucial mistake once again for the Blue Devils.
Ball goes over on down now. 1st and 10 for the Indians from their own 25-yard line.
Shoemaker on the carry.
Oh, what a lick. Casey Rogers stood Brendan Shoemaker straight up in his shoes.
Yeah, that's how you got to tackle Shoemaker. That's how you got to tackle him. Now you got to try to get to where you can tackle him like that before he gets 6 yards down the field.
2nd and 4 now.
Brings up 2nd and 5 from the 30.
Make it 2nd and 5 from the 30-yard line. 3 backs in the backfield for the Indians. Straight up the middle to Webster. Little or no yardage. He picks up about 2.
Big 3rd down play now here for the Blue Devils on defense.
3rd down and about 3. Important 3rd and 3 call.
Got to watch the hard count. Don't jump off sides.
And watch the play action, because this could very well be that play coming. Two backs in the backfield.
Reverse.
They give it to Job. Job breaks it into the field. 2 men to beat, and he's going to beat them both. Touchdown, Ackerman.
Well, it was set up perfect, Doug. They've been running Shoemaker to the right, to the right, to the right. And you just get to a point, and you have to defensively. You have to key him because he's such a great player. And then you just saw one of the advantages of having a player like Shoemaker because they was able to get the reverse and for a score. And once again, coming off of a Blue Devil turnover.
Definitely the case. The Indians take advantage of the turnover and cash it in. Miller on now for the extra point.
Number 5, Ken Boyd to hold.
Kick is up. And it is good, and that makes the score of the Ackerman Indians 14, the Blue Devils 7. We'll be back with kickoff right after this. All right, we're back now, set for kickoff. 6:24 left to go in the third quarter, 14-7 Indians. As Job scores on a long run off of the reverse play. About a 60-yard run. PAT was good, and that brings the score to 14-7. Let's see if once again they pick the ball up and move it over to the far hash mark to do the kick it at an angle toward the sideline. There comes the whistle. That is the play they elect to take.
Kick off for the Indians. Number 13, Casey Rogers. Number 3, Pierre Allen back to receive for the Blue Devils.
This time it goes a little deeper to Pierre Allen.
Allen on the return.
Allen looking for some blockers, picks it up, brings it up to about the 37, and that's where the Blue Devils will take over.
Well, the Blue Devils have got to answer. Now it falls on the offense once again. You got to answer. You got to try to answer the score. What the last thing you want to do is go 3 and out and turn this thing right back over to Ackerman, because if they get 2 scores up, then you really are backed up against the wall.
Well, the Blue Devils were moving the ball on their last possession before the fumble. Rogers on the option, has his feet cut out from under him and dropped for about a yard and a half, 2-yard loss.
Brought down by number 80, Jordan of the Indians. Loss 1 brings up 2nd and 11.
2nd down and 11 from the 36-yard line. Brandon Hawkins out wide to the left. Mix and Gillard in the backfield. They give it first player through, Lee Mix. Mix driving forward, takes the ball up to about the 40-yard line. Picks up about 4, maybe 5 on the carry. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 7.
3rd down, 3rd and 7 for the 40.
Rogers looking for running room, going around. Oh no, and they were keying on Casey that time, and he could not get the corner. He's going to bring up a 4th down now and about 8 from the 39.
Loss of 1 on the play brings up 4th and 8 from the 39.
Charlie Edwards will punt from about his 30.
Number 10, Charlie Edwards back in punt formation for the Blue Devils. Woods and Joe back to receive for the Indians.
Edwards gets a kick away. Caught at about the 30. Woods. And Woods is wrestled to the ground at about the 39-yard line where the Indians take over.
Well, now I think it's important now, Doug, that Water defense needs to get a 3 and out. Hey, I know we're just 4:22 now to go in the 3rd quarter, and we still got another whole quarter to play. But you've really got to try to get your offense now on the field as much as possible because you're trailing by 7 points.
Toleno comes into the contest now as the Indians break huddle. 2 receivers out, left and right, I formation in the backfield. First back through is Webster.
Webster on the carry.
Webster runs forward for a pretty nice gain. Takes it up over the 45 to about the 47. Gain of almost 7 on the play. Second down and about 3.
Gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3 from the 47.
First back through Webster.
Webster on the carry.
Takes it up to about midfield. Well, they give him forward progress to the 49.
Indians 1st and 10 for the 49.
It will be a first down.
1st and 10 Indians from the Blue Devil 49-yard line. Reverse again, Job. Casey Rogers had it ready, just couldn't get a hand on him. But he held him up long enough for the pursuit to get there. But they still pick up about 6 or so yards off the play.
And I'm going to tell you, Doug, that is just so key. It just sets the tone for the 2nd and 3rd down plays is what you can get on first down. And Ackerman's done it all night tonight. They've gotten 4, 5, 6 yards on first down. They've been real good on first down tonight.
2nd and 4 for the Indians. 3 backs in the backfield, 1 receiver.
Shoemaker on the carry.
Shoemaker on the carry, takes it down to about the 40. Bring up 3rd down and about a yard. And mark it just shy of the 40, so it'll be more like 3rd down and almost 2.
The key here, Doug, is get penetration. We haven't, Water Valley's defensive line has not gotten penetration in the Ackerman backfield all night tonight.
3rd and 2. Job on the end around. And he's knocked out of bounds at about the 25.
That may be coming back, Doug. I think Charlie Edwards got held. That might be coming back.
Penalty marker on the play. Thrown from the backfield. Holding is the call against the Indians, and it will come back.
Yeah, I think number 10 for Water Valley, I couldn't remember the number who it was for Ackerman, but whoever was blocking Charlie got held there a little bit.
Holding against the Indians. Now instead of a 3rd and 2, they're looking at a 3rd and about 9.
Now the key is you got to watch the play action here. You got to watch the trickery. But if they pass, I think it is so important for Water Valley to try to get pressure on Solano. What few passes that Ackerman's attempted, Water Valley has not gotten pressure on the quarterback.
They give it to Job straight ahead. Still on his feet, scrambling. Gets forward to about the 44-yard line, but that's not going to be enough. It's going to be 4th down now at about 5.
Good job there by Water Valley's defense there to force that drive to stall a little bit. Of course, it was assisted a little bit, too, by the holding penalty.
Gordon in the contest now, back in punt formation. Rogers and Edwards drop back.
Number 10, Brian Gordon back in punt formation for the Indians.
Gets the kick away. Hits it about the 20 and rolls. And it's going to roll down inside the 10-yard line to about the 6. Or the Blue Devils will start 1st and 10. Nice punt and roll there by Gordon.
There again, that's just another one of those punts that you really can't risk to try to field because it's rolling down through there. That thing could take a funny hop and then you muff it, and then next thing you know, Ackerman's done recovered another fumble. So you'd much rather have the ball on the 6 than to risk the turnover. But like you said, it's a good job there by Ackerman special teams to force Water Valley once again to start deep in their own territory.
Blue Devil football now, 1st and 10 at the 6. Blue Devils, are the Indians rather, playing with 9, 10 men in the box, only with 1 receiver out. Rico Gillard breaks through the initial line before he's wrapped up up at about the 10, gains about 4, maybe 5 yards on the carry. He was about 1 or 2 steps there from breaking it.
Just went under a minute now to go in the third quarter.
Second down now and 4. 14-7 is your score in favor of the Ackerman Indians, as they scored after a Blue Devil fumble. Rogers rolls, looking downfield, and he slips and is down at the 10-yard line.
Would have been a tough pass to complete because Ackerman had that thing pretty well covered.
Brings up a third down now and about 7.
3rd and 6 from the 10.
May not get this one off as we go down to 10 seconds now to go in the third quarter. Then again, we might.
Rogers back to pass. Intended for Rocket. Oh, and almost intercepted by Miller.
That's the end of the third quarter with the Blue Devils 7.
That's the end of the third quarter play. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. 14-7 Indians. Beginning of the fourth quarter here, 14-7 in favor of the Ackerman Indians, and the Blue Devils will be forced to punt on a 4th and 7 play from deep in their own end.
Also providing homeland in the state of Grayson, located at 109 North 4th Street, call 473-2499.
Charlie Edwards will be forced to punt from about his own goal line.
He's in his own end zone.
Nice driving kick, forces him out. Oh, it's a fumble on the play. He still hasn't recovered it, still loose. Who's got it? The Indians recover it, but boy, it was up for grabs there for a while. The Indians ball 1st and 10 from their own 37, as it was a loose issue there for a few seconds.
Good punt there by Charlie out of his own end zone. He punted that thing about 50 yards.
Yeah. Wound up line of scrimmage from the 10, and they get it at the 37.
Their own 37.
Yeah, their own 37.
Once again, Doug, I think it's important now. Water Valley needs to get a 3 and out here on defense.
50-something yard kick.
Job on the carry.
Job held up, and he takes it up to about the 40. Casey Rogers had him, but was unable to hold on to him behind the line.
You know, like Water Valley's trying to get Casey more involved in the offense. Ackerman's now starting here in the second half to get number 2, Job, more involved in the offense. Once again, a light misty rain has begun to fall.
Second down now and about 6. Taleno under pressure. Webster catches it this time and he breaks the tackle before he's finally knocked out of bounds over there at about the 40-yard line by Charlie Edwards.
It's just once you get your running game going, Doug, it just sets everything else up. The passing game, and you can run play action. And you know, we said in the first half that play has been open all night, and at some point in time they were going to complete that pass, and bingo, there it was.
First and 10 now for the Indians. Hand it off to Shoemaker, and they hold him up.
Wrapped up by number 5, Russell Phillips.
Ball on about the 39-yard line of the Blue Devils. Second down and 9.
Gain of 1 brings up 2nd and 9 from the 39.
Reverse goes to Job. Fumble on the play. They stripped the ball, and the Blue Devils recover. Oh, yeah.
Well, Doug, I mean, something like that had to happen. Water Valley needed to get a break, something along those lines there, and I don't know who did it, but somebody just came in there and just stripped it from Job, and big play right there. That could be the break that Water Valley's been needing, and they need to cash in here. They need to take advantage of this. You're not going to get that many kind of breaks from a team like Ackerman.
1st and 10, Blue Devils going the opposite way from their own 25-yard line now after the Indian fumble, trailing by 7. Rogers rolling, looking, complete. Oh, they're saying incomplete.
I think it was incomplete, Doug.
Charlie
I
Edwards,
saw Charlie try to bring it up with his legs, but that's a tough pass because Casey had to try to put that thing in between 2 defenders. Ackerman had it covered.
2nd and 10. Oh, Lord, massive movement there. The whole right side pulled. Penalty markers on the play. Illegal procedure against the Blue Devils as the whole right side moved too soon. That makes it 2nd down now and about 15. Rogers back to pass. Throws it up, intended for Rocket. Rocket hauls it in. And yes, it was a catch. He didn't fumble it until after he was tackled. Ball, Blue Devil ball at the 43-yard line. Good call by the official.
I thought he had the feet down that you had to qualify possession, and when, like you said, Doug, when he hit the ground made the ball come out.
And as we all know, the ground cannot cause a fumble. 1st and 10 Blue Devils from the 43. Pierre Allen looking for running room. He hurdles and is knocked back by 2 Ackerman Indian defenders.
Boy, Ackerman's defensive line has just played an excellent game all night. And even when they're not in on a tackle, they force Water Valley's running back to have to go, run somewhere else, try to bounce it somewhere else. And by the time he does that, the pursuit's there.
2nd down now and about 9. 9:07 left to go in the contest. Rocket out wide to the right. Rogers rolls right. Picks up some speed and takes it up to into Indian territory at about the 49. He picked up an important block out there in the flat that caused him to decide to pull it down and run with it.
It's going to bring up now 3rd down and about 3.
3rd and 3 for the Devils from the 49.
From the 49 for the Blue Devils.
I really think, though, Doug, if you don't get it here, I really think, well, it's going to depend on what you make on this play, but if you don't get it here, I think you're going to have to go for it on 4th down.
Rogers straight ahead.
He's going to be about a yard short.
Lee Mix carries it down to about the 47-yard line, and they're marking it just inside the 47, so it's going to be 4th down and about a yard to go. So I believe the Blue Devils will go for it here on a 4th and 1.
Once again, Doug, the 1st down marker is about a yard this side of the 45-yard line. So if he can get to the 45, he'll definitely have the 1st down.
Quarterback sneak. See where they mark the ball. If the line judge coming in from the far side is any indication that we should have it, we'll see. It's going to be close.
I don't know, Doug. I don't know.
That was a bad spot, it looked like. Ooh. I don't know. Well.
You got a better look at it than I do. You're looking right across at it.
It looks like he's past, he's on the inside of the hash mark, is he not? I believe.
Boy, he got
Just first down by the nose of the football. Whew. That was close. 1st and 10 Blue Devils as they were able to pick it up. I formation in the backfield, single receiver to the right. Handed off to Pierre Allen. Pierre Allen comes through the middle. Pierre Allen still on his feet, trying to drive forward. Russell Phillips comes up from behind to give a little helping hand forward, but they had already whistled the play dead at the 39.
That's a good gain on first down. He picked up about 5 or 6 yards on first down. And first down is key.
Actually wound up with about 7. Call it 2nd and 3.
Gain of 7 play brings up 2nd and 3 from the 39.
First back through, Lee Mix running hard. Down inside the 35 to about the 34. Picks up a Blue Devil first down.
Doug, here again, once again, I think this is a great opportunity now with first down now on the 35-yard line of Ackerman. If you want to try a little play action pass here, might not be a bad time to do it. Coming up on 7 minutes to go in the game.
1st and 10 Blue Devils at the 34-yard line. Rogers back to pass under pressure. Fires it downfield and incomplete. He had 2 receivers open down there. Lee Mix and Charlie Edwards were both wide open. And he just over. There comes the penalty marker. Now that may be on the Ackerman sideline.
Either that or Casey could have been past the line of scrimmage.
Entirely possible on that too, but he threw it kind of late for that. Let's see what the call is. The Indians are pointing at us.
He was close, Doug. He was really, really close. Yep, illegal forward pass.
Illegal forward pass is the call. And that penalty also has brings the loss of down with it as well, it seems. 2nd down now and about 14.
Blue Devils got the ball, 2nd and 14 from the 38.
Rogers back to pass. Throws one up, got Rocket, overthrown.
Incomplete. Give her number 4, Donovan Rocket.
Well, Doug, you got to get a good chunk of this yardage back to at least give you a good shot at it on 4th down here.
3rd down now, 3rd down at about 14 from the 38-yard line. Rocket this time sets up to the inside. Rogers rolls under pressure, shrugs it off. Throws it complete at the 30. Rocket breaks a tackle, and he steps out of bounds. And where was our late flag hit there that we should have had? Because that was some contact way out of bounds, and that's Casey Rogers evidently was also hammered, got up off the ground, not a happy camper.
Well, here we are again, Doug. 4th down and less than a yard.
Less than a yard at the 25-yard line. And Ackerman calls timeout. We'll take a break and be right back. All right, we're back. Basically what we are here is 4th and short, less than a football length. That's what the Blue Devils need for a first down here on a 4th and short at the 25. Casey Rogers hands it off to Pierre Allen, and his forward momentum may have given it to him, Lane, depending on the spot of the ball. It's all going to depend on the spot of the ball.
I don't think he got it, Doug.
That's going to be very, very close.
I don't think he got it. I think he had to get it across the 25-yard line. The ball spotted on the 25-yard line. You'll see the first down marker. The first down marker is just on the other side of the 25-yard line. I don't think he got it.
Very well could be correct here, but it's going to be close.
No.
Shy almost the whole length of the football, and the ball goes over on downs.
Once again, though, Water Valley's defense now is going to have to get a 3 and out. You can't allow Ackerman to pick up a couple of first downs here with 6:35 to go in the game.
Indians take over 1st and 10 from the 25.
Joe on the carry, going to break it loose. One man to beat. And he stepped out of bounds somewhere along the sideline over there at about the 40-yard line. And once again, the Indians break a big play.
Indians had the ball 1st and 10 from the 40.
Well, I know one thing. Number 2 for Ackerman, Job, has really changed the look as far as the offensive look of Ackerman, that's for sure.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. First back through is Webster. He's wrapped up there at the line of scrimmage. Gains maybe a half a yard. Call it 2nd and 9.
Gain of 1 play brings up 2nd and 9 from the 39.
Delano, he's brought down inside the 35 at about the 34.
Taken down by
Big 3rd down play here now, Doug. 5:43 and counting.
3rd down at about 4. Crucial that the Devils hold here, but then again, they're very likely to get.
3rd down, 3rd and 4 from the 33.
They're going to face a long field to travel because if the Indians are forced to punt, they're probably going to pin us deep. 3rd and 4. Oh, and hammered, and I don't think he got it. It's going to be close. I don't know. That one's
Indians
1st down.
They're saying 1st down. I guess his line of sight's better than mine. I can't tell from here. I thought they stopped him a little bit shorter than that, but 1st and 10 Indians.
Joe on the carry.
Give it to Job, and he has his feet cut out from under him at about the 28-yard line. 2nd down and 8.
Gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8 from the 48.
Give it to Webster. Webster rumbles down inside to almost the 20. Close to 1st down yardage.
Going to bring up 3rd and short. Once again, Doug.
Very short.
3rd and very short. And the key, you've got to get some kind of penetration here in the backfield to try to hold them short here. This may be your last shot at it right here.
Hand it off to Webster. They stand him up, but I believe he had enough for the 1st down.
Stopped by Mix for the Blue Devils.
First down, Indians.
Indians 1st and 10 from the 18.
And I'll give it to Shoemaker.
Got a penalty flag.
Penalty marker on the
may
flag.
have a holding call. Flag thrown by the umpire.
Could be on number 85 there. He was looking at the referee with a "who me" look on his face.
Holding call against the Indians.
Got to bring up a 1st and 15 for the Indians. Well, actually more than 15. More like about a 1st and
Penalty brings up
16.
16 from the 24.
Taleno back to pass, looking to run. Still on his feet, and Taleno scores. Touchdown, Indians. And the Blue Devils had opportunities to grab him. He slipped through their grasp and scored.
That might have sealed the deal right there, Doug.
They're on for the extra point attempt now.
With number 5, Ken Woods to hold.
Kick is up, and the kick is good, and that makes the score 21-7 in favor of the Ackerman Indians. We'll be back with kickoff right after this. And basically what the Devils have got to do is they've got to hope they can run this back a big distance, score quickly, onside kick it and get it, and try to get the tying score. And all of that in 2 minutes and 40-something seconds. A tall order, to say the least. Stranger things have happened.
Number 27, Brady Lance to kick off for the Indians.
Because as Kentucky found out last week, it ain't over till the horn blows. Charlie Edwards fair catches the ball on about the, let's see, 30, 33, 32-yard line. Excuse me.
Blue Devils take over 1st and 10 from the 28.
Make it the 28-yard line, excuse me, it was behind the 30. And the Blue Devils break it out of the huddle. Pierre Allen at tailback, Lee Mix at fullback. 2 receivers out to the right. Pitch back to Brandon Hawkins. A flea flicker that is almost picked off as it was very wobbly, and Hawkins took a hammer shot just about the time he released the ball.
Well, I mean, you're to that point now, Doug, where you've got to try to, come up with something. 'Cause like you said, they've got to score quick and hope they can get an onside kick. And they better hurry up or they're going to get a delay of game call here.
Yeah. They're fitting to get it too if they're not careful. They just got it off. Back to Charlie Edwards. Heaves it downfield, intended for Solo Rocket, and it was overthrown. Rocket was in double coverage.
Well, now, Doug, you just got to try to get the first down just so you can keep the drive alive.
Maintain possession. 3rd and 10 now. Rogers back to pass. Brandon Hawkins coming across the middle at just about first down yardage where he's tackled. It's going to be close.
Yeah, he's going to be a little short. Once again, it's going to bring up a fourth down and short.
Fourth and about a yard.
Fourth and 1 from the 37.
Wishbone formation in the backfield.
Rogers on the carry.
Rogers on the carry. He gets enough for the first down. Carries it up over the 40-yard line.
Timeout. Blue Devils.
What about
Timeout, Blue Devils. We'll take a timeout and be back along the line. .153 and counting. 1st and 10 Blue Devils from the 40. Rogers back to pass. Solo Rocket catches it, maintains his feet, picks up a first down up to into Indian territory at the 47-yard line.
From the 47.
Devils have to hurry and get on the line of scrimmage quickly. Rogers back to pass. Under pressure. Somehow breaks loose and it is finally tackled.
You got to call a timeout here, Doug. You got to call a timeout.
Jordan of the Indians.
Now they signal for the timeout, and we'll take a timeout and be right back. Rogers back to pass under pressure. Shovel pass to Pierre Allen. Allen looking to pick up some blockers. Picks up the first down at any rate.
Got to hurry up to the line.
Got to hurry up
now.
to the
Clock
line
stop
now.
To move the chains.
Now, once they get the chain set, and they spike the ball to kill the clock. That'll make it 2nd and 10, basically. Ball resting on about the 36-yard line with 1 minute and 19 seconds left to go in the contest. Blue Devils trail 21-7.
From the 36.
Second and 10 now for the Blue Devils. Brandon Hawkins to the left, Rocket to the right. Rogers under pressure. Tucks it to
Got to try
run.
to get out of bounds. Need to get out of bounds, Casey.
Oh, and Rogers is tackled at about the 22-yard line. That's enough for a first down. As they move the sticks here. Coach is sending in a play as they move the sticks.
Blue Devil first down.
They try to go forward and there's just nowhere to go.
Now you got to burn your last time out here.
Rogers back to pass, looking downfield, has Rocket going across the middle. Knocked away at the last second, incomplete.
I like the call though, Doug. You got to start taking your shots at it. Of course, Ackerman's going to have everybody back deep.
Triple coverage that time on Rocket.
3rd and 10 now. You got to try to pick up the first down here on these next 2 downs somehow.
Rogers. Complete to Charlie Edwards. That's enough for a first down.
Got to get on the line. Clock stop. Now you want to kill it. You just want to kill it.
Blue Devil first down.
Blue Devils on the line. Rogers takes a snap and spikes it.
Good job there. Good job.
Second down now, second down and goal, because the ball is actually on about just inside the 10-yard line. Second and goal from just inside the 10. And you're under a minute, boy. You just got to score as quickly as possible. Rogers. Oh.
Got to get up quick.
Hammered at the 5, or at about the 6. Rogers back up. Gets everybody on the line. Heaves one up in the corner. And it was knocked away at the last instant by the Indian receiver.
4th and goal now, Doug. This is if Water Valley is going to have any kind of a chance here, this is the play right here.
4th and goal from just inside the 10.
Fourth and goal from the 6.
Pitch it back to Edwards. Charlie trying to get to the tackle for a loss and trying to get out of, was trying to look to throw. And that's going to pretty much end the Devil threat. And come close to ending the ball game.
Well,
we got about 22
all
seconds
going to
left.
have to do now is just snap it.
All the Indians have to do basically is just take the snap and take a knee. And this was pretty much wrapped up in for the Ackerman Indians. And you got to hand it to the Indians. They played an excellent ball game tonight.
Well, they deserved to win. They played ball control. They picked up the big first downs when it was time to pick up the first downs, and you know, they played a lot better football game than Water Valley did. A lot more solid football game. Only, you know, they had one turnover, but which their defense came out and didn't allow Water Valley to score, whereas Ackerman got a couple of touchdowns off the turnovers. You know, and in postseason play, that's what you got to do. That's just the bottom line. I mean, you just can't play status quo. You've got to play better and better every week if you intend to go deep in the playoffs.
And the Indians call timeout. And that is what Toledo does. Snipes it and goes back and takes a knee. And there goes the clock now coming in under 10 seconds, and it's going to pretty much run off. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the end of this football contest. The Water Valley Blue Devils lose this one 21-7 to the Ackerman Indians here in the second round of the 2A playoffs.